What's up, YouTube? Anton Kraly here. And before we get into today's episode, I just want to give you a heads up, let you know that you are currently watching the video version of the podcast. Now, I do 2 new episodes every week, every single Monday and Thursday. And the e-commerce lifestyle podcast is really designed for store owners that are looking to increase their sales, get better with automations, and become the authority in their niche. And while we do upload most episodes to YouTube as videos, I want to encourage you, if you get value from this, to be sure to subscribe to the audio feed. We are on every single podcast player there is. I'll post links in the description of this video, but whether you use Apple Podcasts or Overcast or Google Podcasts or Spotify, whatever, if you subscribe there, you're going to get notified every single time a new episode goes live, which again is 2 times a week. So I'll post those links in the description. And with that being said, we can go ahead and get into today's episode of the podcast. What's up, everybody? Anton Kraly here from eCommerceLifestyle.com. And in today's episode of the podcast, we're going to be talking about how to sell high-ticket products. Now, when I say high-ticket products, I mean on the low end, around $200 or more, but really you want the average order value to be closer to $1,000 or more. And this is something I've been doing myself since back in 2008. And it's something I talk about a lot, whether that be on the podcast, on YouTube, obviously on dropshiplifestyle.com. And what happens is we get a lot of questions from people that are saying, hey, I either already run an existing online store, but I want to incorporate what you do with the dropship lifestyle method. Can I do that on my current store? And then we have another group of people that already have what I would consider content sites. So whether that be blogs or podcasts or some type of tutorial website or even info product website where they have a big audience, but they want to add high ticket dropshipping on as an additional stream of revenue, another way to make money off of what they've already built. So the way that I answer each of those people and the advice that I give does vary. So what we're going to do in today's episode is I'm going to speak to each segment of people and let you know how you can incorporate dropshipping high ticket products into your existing business and into your existing audience. So first, I'll speak to anybody that's already selling physical products online that are in that what I would consider low ticket range, under $200. And I should say, it doesn't matter if you are manufacturing, if you're private labeling, if you're drop shipping, but if you have an e-commerce store selling products that are under $200 and you decide you want to increase your product catalog and you want to do it by leveraging and incorporating high ticket products so that you can actually earn real money every time you get a sale. Now, the first thing that I would ask you if you were in that situation is your business, as it is right now, making money? And if you said no, then I would say, okay, forget about that business, start from scratch, do what I teach you at dropshipwebinar.com and build over. Because if it's not making money, you don't have an asset, you don't have anything to pull from. What you do have is the knowledge and the skill set that you learned when building that store. But as far as trying to turn that into something different, you're probably better just starting over from scratch. And it's a lot easier than it sounds. Online, things can move like that. Now, let's say you answered that question differently, though. Let's say your existing e-commerce store selling products less than $200 is actually successful and it's making you money. Then I would say, okay, great. Don't change that. Don't get rid of it. If you enjoy it, if you're okay with the profit you're making, but let's go ahead and incorporate some high ticket products so that you can have this opportunity to make real money every time a sale comes in. So let me just give you some examples where this might apply. Maybe you have a e-commerce store where you're selling hair care products and your average order value is $40. Okay, what I would say is reach out to different brands and manufacturers of companies that make products like curling irons or the hair straighteners or the blow dryers. I think that's what they're called. I don't have much hair. You could probably tell if you're watching the video version. But all these products that are in these higher ticket price points, reach out to those brands directly, tell them who you are, where you're calling from, show them your existing store, and see if you can become an authorized retailer to start selling those products on your store as well. Add them into your product catalog. That will increase your average order value, and that will increase how much net profit you can actually make from your business any single month. Now, another situation that you may find yourself in is maybe you do print on demand with drop shipping, right? Maybe you sell coffee mugs and you put on all different types of funny sayings or logos or names, whatever, and your average order value value for coffee mugs is 25 bucks, but you like the store, it's making you money, you just want to incorporate some high ticket products. My advice to you would be reach out to companies that make coffee machines or espresso machines or anything else that could be related. And the reason you want to do this is not because, again, you're going to just change your whole business model. It's because you want the possibility and you want to incorporate the opportunity to have that sale when somebody buys a $400 blow dryer or a $300 coffee machine, where you're making literally hundreds of dollars of profit when that sale comes in. Now, let me give you some further tips on this, because that's kind of obvious, right? You don't want to change your whole business. You want to reach out to the brands. You want to become an authorized retailer. Well, here's what I want you to do to make sure that you actually make money once you add these products onto your store. First off, you want to make sure that if you're using Shopify, you're putting them into new collections. So they're not just mixed in with everything else. They're in a new section on your store. Again, a collection if you're using Shopify. And then what I want you to do is set up Google Shopping ads. And when you do this, only import the products into Google Ads that are from those new collections where the price is $200 or more. So don't just start running Google Shopping ads for your whole product catalog. Instead, treat these new collections as their own stores, basically. Again, they're still on your store, but as far as ads go, they're in their own ad groups. They're running as their own ads for Google Shopping ads. Now, the next tip I can give you that will really be where probably most of your money is made by incorporating high ticket products is to build out a post-purchase email automation. We do this in Klaviyo. That's what we use for our email autoresponders with Shopify. Highly recommend them. And what I want you to do is every time somebody buys a low ticket product from you, whether that be the mug or the hair care product or whatever it is, in your emails that are going to them after they order, make sure you're letting them know, hey, we also sell these blow dryers and these hair straighteners, or we also sell these coffee machines and these espresso machines. And because you're an existing customer, you can save 10%, 5%, 15%, whatever it is you want to offer for the next 7 days. Give them a unique coupon code and then link them to that product on your online store. What this is going to do is basically get you free traffic, and it's going to turn the customers that you're making money from right now on the low ticket side, maybe $5, $10, $20, into opportunities where you'll be making $100, $200, $300 in profit per sale. So definitely build out that email autoresponder. Again, for post-purchase, it's going to be where a lot of your new money comes from. Now let me speak to the second group of people, and that's the group of people that, again, already have these content sites. They have websites that are getting a lot of traffic. They have audiences that know, like, and trust either them or their brand, and they don't currently sell physical products, and they want to incorporate selling high ticket products by dropshipping as a way to add another source of revenue to their business. Now, I think this is a great idea. Again, if it makes sense, depending on what topic you talk about, depending on what niche you're in. You know, if you had a gardening blog, then yeah, it would probably make sense to have a online store where you could sell things like greenhouses and, I have no idea, planters, whatever is expensive that people that are into gardening buy. But let me give you another real example that I've actually experienced in real life, and then talk about how I would set this up if I was in that situation. So I was on a podcast maybe 6 months, maybe a year ago. And the podcast that I was on, the host actually, their business was they helped people start podcasts and grow podcasts. And during our conversation together, the host told me that they recommend all different equipment, right? So things like different stand-up desks, things like microphone arms, things like lighting if it's going to be a video podcast, but they promote of other products, right, as affiliates. So mostly for the Amazon Associates program. And what they have is this massive audience that's clicking their links, that's buying the products they recommend. But every time that happens, they're only earning 4%, which is better than nothing, but it could be a lot higher than that. And what I told them is I see no logical reason why you can't turn that 4% into, at a minimum, 25% without much extra work. And that's a scenario where it literally equals hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in net profit going to that business owner. So how do you do that, right? How do you change from small affiliate commissions to minimum 25%? Well, same thing. What you're going to want to do is reach out to all of the brands that you already recommend, the brands that you know people are already buying based on your recommendation. And your goal is to become an authorized retailer to sell their products. Now, the goal is always to have it on a relationship where you don't have to warehouse the products, meaning that they're going to be drop shipping them for you. But What you want to do in this scenario that's a little different than the first is you already have your site, right? And if your site's not already selling products, it's not already an e-commerce store. And I don't want you to change everything you've built up to become a store, like, and make like everything new. That's not worth it. It might hurt your current reach. So instead, what you want to do is go to Shopify, make a new Shopify store. But when you are setting up the domain name, the URL for that, you want to make it a subdomain of your existing brand. So for example, if you had yoursite.com and that was your content site, you wouldn't want to make like yoursitestore.com. Instead, you want to make store.yoursite.com. So again, it's a subdomain. It's still part of your website, but it's not going to affect any of the other hard work you've done to build up your authority thus far. And the way people will find it, same thing on your website. You can add a link in your navigation menu that says store. If they click that, it'll take them to the subdomain, which is your Shopify store. Whenever you're recommending things now that you're promoting as an affiliate, you could just swap out those links to go directly to your store. So people are buying through you rather than through wherever you recommend them to. And then just like I mentioned before, what you want to do is set up a Google Ads account and use a Google shopping campaign. That will bring in a new flow of money and resources outside of the traffic you already own. If that sounds confusing to you, it's not that hard, but if you want to see like step-by-step how we do it, my advice would be to go to dropshipwebinar.com, get my free training there. And then if it sounds good to you, enroll into my coaching program to get like literally step-by-step tutorials. But basically what this allows you to do, again, is turn those small little affiliate commissions into substantial amounts of money. And it also allows you to bring in different audiences by running ads on Google specifically for those products, getting people in that way, which should in turn grow your content site and your other brand that is already growing on its own. So really, it's a win-win as long as you're in an industry where there are products that make sense, where there are products that are $200 or more, where you can get approved to become an authorized retailer. It's a great way to add another source of revenue and big profit to your business. So as always, guys, I hope you got value from this podcast. If you did, please leave a 5-star review. Let me know what your top takeaway was. And if you know anybody that would benefit from hearing this message, please do me a favor and share it with them. Really, that's the goal of this podcast, to help impact as many businesses as possible in a positive way. So please do share it around. And as always, if you are looking to build a highly profitable, semi-automated online store, be sure to check out my free training class over at dropshipwebinar.com. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. And I'll talk to you in the next episode. See ya. Hey, what's up, guys? Anton here again, and I hope you got some real value out of that video you just watched. If you did, you should definitely check out this one or this video right here. I do 2 new ones every week. You'll see a subscribe button right here. And if you want my free training that is 2.5 hours long of value with 237 niches, click this button right down here. It'll take you to where you need to go.